All right, guys, we got a good show for you today. We have a Hassan Beydoun. He's an Eastern Michigan wide receiver. Thanks for coming on, man.
Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, so you have a really interesting football story. You went to Eastern Michigan not planning on playing football. Talk about how you got that opportunity to walk on and everything.
Well, I mean, out of high school, I didn't have any offers. No Division 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever.
Yeah.
I would prefer walk-ons. So I kind of went to college my first year as a regular student, and I actually got into rugby.
Yeah.
So I started playing rugby my first year for a club team, and then by that second semester of my freshman year of college, I just kind of came across a tweet that basically said anybody at Eastern Michigan that's interested in trying out, there will be a meeting held this date, and then just went to the meeting, tried out, and then the rest was history. That's how I got in the team.
Yeah. So your freshman year, were you staying in shape from rugby, or were you catching any balls from football, or was football pretty much done for you?
Honestly, I would say football was pretty much done. It was always in the back of my mind. If I got the opportunity, I'll go take it. But I wasn't really training specifically for football.
Yeah.
I go to the field and mess around with my friends, play pickup football games here and there, but I wasn't really training for it. I kind of just stayed in shape through rugby, as in conditioning wise, and just not letting myself go, but actually catching the balls and doing drill work. I was pretty much done.
Yeah. So, your freshman season was actually your sophomore year. When you're making that transition to college football, what do you think was the hardest thing about it for you?
Just kind of getting up to speed. I missed a year or two, so my transition wasn't as smoothly as other people. It was just kind of getting up to speed. You play high school and you're the man around town, and you get to the college level and everyone's just faster, bigger, stronger than you. It's really getting comfortable at that speed.
Yeah.
So that was the hardest part.
Yeah. So this season, it was an interesting year with COVID and everything. For the MAC, you guys had initially your season canceled. At the time, what was that news like for you? And did you really ever think the season might actually happen?
So when the season got canceled, we were still at school training for the season.
Yeah.
And that was just kind of devastating because it was what now? We kind of had essentially spring ball moved to fall. So we called it fall ball.
Yeah.
And that's what we were going to do until then. So it was just kind of what are you working towards? There's no motivation. And honestly, I didn't think the season would get reinstated. So that was kind of surprising itself too.
Yeah. So, with the COVID year, it was hard because you guys didn't get to have a full playbook. Did you guys?
Yeah, no, we got through our full playbook.
Yeah, but dealing with it, I think it was hard probably to find a rhythm for you. But you had, team best 40 receptions. You had you set a record with 8 receptions a game for your school. How did you manage to have such a good season for you?
Obviously going to the season was hard with split practices and getting chemistry down. We couldn't really practice the full team for a minute. But honestly, my success, I wouldn't really just say it's on me.
Yeah.
I know it might sound cliche, but it's really just it's a team game. It's really based on the team, the coaches, all that stuff. Just putting me in positions to make those plays, and I just went out and made them. That's really all it comes down to. Just someone went out and making them. I feel like anybody on our team could have done what I did, just go out and making the play. I was put in situations to make them.
Yeah. This season you guys were 2-4. You lost 3 games by 1 score. You easily could have been 5-1. What are you guys working on for next season? So those games you lost, so you guys could win next year.
Yeah, obviously, we all think about that too. We could easily be 5-1, but we're not. We lost 3 games by 1 score, and we always say that, and we always think about it. But it's we didn't do it at the end of the day. So we kind of have a slogan of being different. That's our slogan this year, is being different. So it's what are we doing to be different? So each person on the team has an individual goal to being different, just to take that extra step forward.
Yeah.
So we're not finishing and losing by 1 possession. We're actually going to go make those plays. So we're not 2-4. We're my cat. So we're not 2-4. So we're 5-1.
Yeah.
So that's just the big thing. It's just about being different. Just doing the extra stuff, the little things.
Yeah,
And then
those games, they're won and lost by like one play. Sometimes it's just one play you could have, won a game.
and that could be a MAC championship right there. That's a ring. So we
Yeah.
gotta finish.
So, you're 5'8". How do you think you use your height as like and turn into advantage?
Yeah, people talk about my size as a disadvantage all the time, but
It's
I never
in,
really looked at it as a disadvantage.
yeah,
Like I like playing small, I like playing low. They always say the lower man wins. So I just got like good pace to me, good balance. I get in and out of breaks faster. Just with what I lack in height, I make up in other areas with speed, quickness, just being a steady football player. So I don't really look at size as a big problem for me. At the end of the day, like you could put someone at 6'5" in front of me, like, can they guard me at the end of the day? That's the way I look at it.
yeah,
So as long as you're getting open, creating separation, I don't think the height really plays a factor. I'm
yeah.
not a big guy that's off size, like all these scouts would say, oh, he's got this, he got that. At the end of the day, can someone play football?
No, I think like if you watch the NFL, you see it more than ever. It doesn't really matter if you can play. You can play in the NFL and be very successful. The height doesn't matter as much.
Yeah, no, you see it a lot of time. And not even height, just even weight. Like you saw Devontae Smith, receiver at Alabama. He just came out and said, like, we're not bodybuilders, which is true. We're not. Everyone thinks we're supposed to be these big, strong men. I mean, at the end of the day, we're just playing football.
Yeah. So, you talked about Devontae Smith. NFL draft is this week. Growing up as a kid, did you ever think the NFL was a realistic possibility for you?
I mean, when you're a kid, like you get in the circles and teacher goes around, like, what do you want to be when you get older?
Yeah.
I always said a football player. But as you get older and older and you actually start understanding the realism of it,
Yeah.
I thought it was a far shot. And then after high school, I was like, wow, like football is just done for me. And then even joining the football team as a freshman,
Yeah.
I was just like, NFL wasn't like really in my mind. It was just more so like just happy to be on a football team at this point. But then after this past year, like really just taking my game to the next step,
Yeah.
it's definitely a possibility for me. Like it's still a long shot.
Yeah.
But it's definitely a possibility for me. And I definitely like that's my ultimate goal.
Yeah. So, what do you think like the biggest thing you need to work on to get to the NFL? When you notice these guys like Stephon Diggs and these guys, what they do, what are you trying to work on?
I mean, my thing is just to even get myself on the team. So I had one okay year. I mean, it was COVID year, so it was a short season, but I just need to be more consistent. So I need to produce more. I still got 2 more years left to just put on film, produce, and then just get stronger, faster,
Yeah. Oh, that's
bigger, just all that stuff, just improve all around. There's nothing I'm really happy with, complacent with. I just want to get better as a football player all around, route running, catching, everything.
yeah. It was cool to see back in 2019, you had the Secret Santa. You were given the scholarship. Talk about what that meant for you to be surprised like that.
That's probably my favorite day, my favorite 2 days in my entire life. Like just kind of going from a rotational guy, then getting surprised by my scholarship, and then like that was just amazing. I was like, wow, like I just got paid, like everything I went through, like not even having a spot, an offer. And then the next day going for 100 yards, my first breakout game. Like those are probably my best 2 days, my favorite 2 days like I ever like lived.
Yeah. I have to ask because, one of my favorite movies I watched before was Bobby Burlesworth. You were nominated for the award early on. The movie Grader. He's a lot of people know him. Do you ever think back in your mind someday, hey, I want to win that award? Is that something your goal is?
Yeah. Honestly, that'd be like humbling to win that. So I definitely want to win that award. Like obviously I don't get to pick, but I was nominated the past 2 years.
Yeah.
And then I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of salty that I wasn't the top 10 in the nominees here, but it just gives you something to work for.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, I have to ask a question. Back in the day, you had Haas and Fred. What happened to the YouTube channel?
Man, it's so hard to keep up with, especially with COVID, and like it's hard to like really film everything that's going on. And then not only that, editing takes a while. I mean, I know you probably know that.
Yeah.
Editing takes like a long time with classes taking like 15 credits and football workouts. It just kind of got out of our reach. Like we want to get back to it, but it's just hard.
Yeah.
It's just hard.
All right. Final 2 questions. So what would be one piece of advice you'd give to a kid trying to live out their dream of playing, Division I football?
I mean, it kind of sounds hypocritical because like I kind of gave up on it for a short time. But like if you want to do something, go do it. This is the way I look at it. If you want to play football at the next level, you'll play football at the next level.
Yeah.
And my coach told me, he literally looked at me and said, Haas, you'll play football for as long as you want to play football. And that hit me home. So at the end of the day, it's like, if you really want to do something, you'll really do it. And I know people say that all the time, but like, how badly do you want it? Because if you really, really want it, you'll make it happen. Like if you want a nice pair of shoes, you'll make it happen. Yeah. If you want a nice house, you'll make it happen. One way or another, you will make it happen. So I feel like if you really want to play football, how bad you want it, like go make it happen. You'll find yourself on the team.
Yeah. I just thought of like another one. I've always wanted to ask, but I just remembered. So you have like a big game against Wisconsin second week, right?
Yeah.
Do you think about those like big games like right now? Are you guys like, are you just focused on week one? Or are you like already thinking back in my mind, Camp Randall in week 2?
I mean, it's hard not to think about it. Like, damn, it's a big game. Like, you're going Big Ten, you're going to Wisconsin. Like, it's exciting because, like, you just think about all the other games, like the big stadiums, like going to Kentucky, the Quick Lane Bowl against Pitt. Like, it's just the atmosphere. It's cool to think about. But, like, it's cool to think about the back of your head, the back of your mind. But at the same time, it's like the season's so far away. Yeah. Like, right now, I'm thinking about just getting my body right, heading to summer conditioning, summer workouts, and then camp, and then all that stuff. Like, there's so much before that leads on to that. So just like getting your body right, staying healthy so you can even get there. Yeah. So yeah, it's in the back of my mind, but I don't really think about it too much. Yeah.
All right. Final question. We always finish off every episode with it. How do you want people to remember yourself when your football career is over?
Someone that just like worked hard. I always like wanted to be known as a hard worker, even as like a little kid. Like I was always a guy that, even in Little League, if someone was scoring a touchdown on the other side, I'll be like, oh, I want to be the guy that's chasing them down from the other side of the field. Just someone that just always just worked hard, just always gave the effort. I was never lazy on the field. Like from Little League and up, like my dad always just kind of taught me that and instilled that in me, just work harder than the person next to you.
Yeah.
So even I take that to college. Like at the end of the day, it's grown men playing a kid's sport. It's like whoever works hard and out competes other person, that's gonna win. It's not about who's bigger, stronger, faster. Like I'm 5'8", 175 pounds. Like I'm not the biggest guy in the world, but I'm gonna outwork you.
Yeah.
So I just want to be known as a guy that just works hard and leads on the field.
Yeah. Well, Hassan, I really appreciate you coming on, man. It means a lot.
I appreciate you.